Welcome to the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast, Hyphen Nation. I am the one, the only Kellen Conley, your host. It's good to be back with y'all. Episode 201. But before we do anything else, you know it's about that time for the Morgantown weather report. Dun, dun, dun. Currently 71 degrees. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a little bit more in depth with that. 71 degrees. Looks like it's going to be mostly cloudy today with some possible rains around 5 to 7 p.m. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be sunny in the 80s, so enjoy that. Today's high is going to be 83. And in the next 10 days, the weekend looks like it's going to be nice. And then Sunday, that's still part of the weekend. It looks like we got some rain and thunderstorms and showers coming in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sunny, partly cloudy actually. And then more rain next Saturday. So that is your Morgantown weather report, brought to you by Hyphen Nation, the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast. And if that's all you're here for, then appreciate y'all checking in. So, let me get to the gist of why we are here today. So, last week, I sat down and I was like, you know what? I'm going to record episode 201 of Hyphen Nation. I'm going to do it. And so, yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to be awesome. Sorry, lost train of thought. Look at my phone. And I proceeded to come on here and then pretty much be like, things are okay, but I'm dealing with it. And then things were kind of bad, but I'm dealing with it. By the way, I saw Thor, and then that was it. And I was out. Turn my microphone down just a little bit. Damn, that's a lot of it. Just a little bit. There we go. It's like, yeah. And it was like 45 minutes. So something happened. I think I was trying to take a screenshot of me over here on OBS, where I'm recording for the YouTube channel, Hyphen Universe. You can subscribe and you'll hit the bell. You won't miss any uploads from over there. I've been putting in work. And I realized that my recording in Adobe Audition had stopped recording. So I was like, all right, well, that's okay. Let me just punch in and I'll finish off the episode. So I went to find a spot where to pick up from my original audio, and the audio was terrible. And I was like, man, what is going on? Now, I did put this program called Voice Mod on my computer, because I was trying to run my Stream Deck along with my mic when I do Rasslecast, so I can have a soundboard. And I think I had that running. And it was a big old mess. And I also don't think I was using my normal settings in Adobe. I was trying to be all fancy with it. And so the audio was mad choppy. I was like, that's okay. I'm going to finish the episode. I bet you OBS recorded the audio perfectly fine. I bet you OBS got the audio. So I finished the episode. Checked out the OBS video after I stopped recording. Wrong. More choppy audio. So 45 minutes of an episode completely gone. And again, it was supposed to be my self-care episode. So I've done two of these prior, is episode 63 and episode 104, where I've literally come on here and just talked about my mental health and everything I'm going through. Because I know that men love to use podcasts as therapists. And I am guilty of this too. But it's actually been almost 100 episodes since the last one. I've tried to do something like this with Matt over Marco Polo, and we just didn't pull it together. Although I'd still love to get Matt on Marco Polo to do a pod. But he's actually coming to the States in January, so if I could carve out like an hour to finally have Matt on the podcast, that would be incredible. Turn down just a little bit more. That'd be really incredible. But we'll see. And I lost audio and I was mad. I made a video about it. And then I went to work and I immediately realized that I wasn't supposed to record episode 201. I think in the entire 200 episode history of Hyphen Nation, I think I've only lost the audio for one other episode, and that was within the first 10 episodes. That was when I was recording on my old laptop in my car in the Kroger parking lot, normally before work. In the cold, mind you, because it was winter, with the car not on, bundled up. And if I didn't have the settings the exact way, I couldn't get the audio to record on my laptop properly. I was using my headset mic then. Yeah. So the good old days. And now look at me. Look at me, guys. This is probably gonna be the thumbnail. Oh man. So I lost all my audio. And I realized I just wasn't being honest. And once again, there's a giant spider hanging out behind my desk. You stay back there, and I'll let you live until Aaliyah sees you, and then you gotta go, bro. Studio basement life, kids. I wasn't being honest with myself. I made a video about that too on my YouTube channel. It's called Don't Lie to Yourself. Because I literally came on here and I was like, all right, I saw Thor, blah, blah, blah. They're my thoughts. And then I was like, and then this happened in June, but I went to the beach, and the beach was really cool, and it kind of centered myself. And then this is going on, but also I'm kind of happy that this, that, and the third's happening. So here's my advice for you guys, and keep your head up, reach for the stars. Thanks, y'all. How's the gist? That's not what these self-care episodes are about. These episodes are supposed to get to the real. I'm really trying not to curse still. So, let's be real. Self-Care Volume 3. I think I'm going to call it Self-Care Volume 3 First Blood. Because the first one was called Self-Care Volume 1. Second was called Self-Care Volume 2 Bigger and Deffer. So this one will be called Volume 3. Self-Care Volume 3 First Blood. And away we go. All right. This is probably the first time I'm doing this where I'm not in complete depression for once. Because the other ones, I know I was definitely in it. Because the first one, I haven't went back and re-listened to these, and I'm kind of actually interested to do that. I went back and listened to episode 149, The Race to Black Enough Mountain, and that I consider that one of my best episodes of Hyphen Nation. And if you want to go check that out, it's really good. It's about my struggle with my identity living in Hampshire County and growing up around mostly white people with a white mom. Shout out to my mom. And one of my moms. You know. And then the other one, I know I was struggling at work, and Angel was out of the country at the time. It was the first time she went out of the country, and I was not in a good place then. I'm okay is the best way I can describe how I feel right now. For those of you who either are friends of me on Facebook or close friends with me, just in general, or if you do follow follow my YouTube channel, my father, my stepfather, Paul Walker, he actually passed away last Thursday. I don't know exact time that he passed, but it's been about a week. And the funny thing is, and this is something I've never even mentioned on the pod, because of the things that I learned from my stepmother when she was my mom, when she went through hypnotherapist training and different things that she happened. I am an empath. I also believe in ghosts and spirits. And Mike Osti, if you're listening to this, your dad came to your wedding and was standing beside me for about 5 to 10 minutes, but I didn't know how to tell you that without it sounding really weird. But your dad was there, and he was watching you and Emily. So, yeah. Everybody turn off the podcast now. Hyphen's lost his effing mind, right? Thursday morning, I got up like normal, drinking coffee. I went in a little later. And all of a sudden, I just felt like crap. I was like, man, what? And I've been not on low carb for weeks now. But I think I was at least drinking the water then. And I might have even been low carb the night before. So I don't think there's anything on my stomach. I just felt horrible. And I was like, man, what is going on? Like, I don't know what this feeling is. And and it was like, like if I could call off work, I totally would. Like, and I'm saving my time is why I couldn't call off work. But because COVID ruined my 2022 as far as, keeping PTO in the bank. I was like, man, I don't know. But I got dressed. I went to work. And then I was okay. And then I went to my lunch. Went to lunch, it was around 1 something. And excuse me, I think I was eating broccoli that day. Maybe. And I walked back to the kitchen and I checked my phone. I had a missed call from Travis. And I had just talked to Travis. And Travis is my stepbrother, one of my stepbrothers. Shout out to Jermaine and Travis Walker, who's been meticulously planning everything that's going to happen tomorrow at the funeral and the wake and the viewing, all these things. And I had a missed call. I talked to him like 2 nights before because we actually drove down to Winchester to see Paul in the hospital, me, Angel, and Leah on Sunday. I called Travis on Tuesday to get an update. And he said things hadn't really changed. He was eating a little bit more, but he was starting to get a little bit more confused as well. So, but he knew who we were when we were there, so that was awesome. And then I saw him his call, and then I called him back, and he's like, "Hey, just want to let you know that Dad passed away." And it's crazy. It's crazy because 7 years ago, on October 9th, I always get the 9 and 7 mixed up because Barbara passed away, my birth mom. She passed away in October, and then Bonnie passed away in November, my stepmom. And I always get their days mixed up. So let me take a quick peek here. So October, Barbara was October 9th, and Bonnie was November 7th. On October 9th, I had called Paul's phone. Remember how I just told y'all that if I click out of Adobe Audition, it stops recording? That's what it just did. Barbara passed away on October 9th, and Bonnie passed away on November 7th, a month apart from each other. I called Paul to check on Mom because she had called me like a week or so before, and I've been through this story before on here, so I apologize if y'all heard it before. I'm going to hit the highlights, the lowlights, so to speak. She had called me like a week or so before saying that she wanted to stop drinking and she wanted to get checked into a rehab facility. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll see what we can do. So I was talking to Paul and everything, and all of a sudden, like, she's been feeling real weak. She can't get out of bed. She feels like crap. And the next thing I know, she's in the hospital. And they're like, well, we don't know what happened. We don't think she had a stroke. It just seemed like she's very tired, and she was miserable. I went to go, like, my dad actually ended up getting sick, and I drove to Caton Bridge to drive him to the hospital, the emergency room on Sunday. Everything was okay with him, thankfully. Brought him back, stayed the night at home, went back into Winchester the next day to see Mom in the hospital, and she was asleep for most of it. Woke up at the end and wanted me to carry her out of the hospital room with her arms stretched out towards me like a child, like, take me with you, and I couldn't do it. And then a few days later, I had been talking to Paul like every day about her, and they had moved her into I don't want to say a rest home, but kind of like a recovery kind of deal to get her out of the hospital and free up the bed, but just kind of help her to recover from whatever was going on, because they didn't have any reason to actually hold her. And I called Paul. Paul didn't pick up. Travis answers, and he's like, "Hey, Kellen, what's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, I was just calling to see how things are going with Mom." And he's like, "Kellen, I don't know how to tell you this, but she just passed away." So 7 years ago, Travis told me that Mom passed away, and then last week, Travis tells me that Paul passed away. So Travis, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Oh, shoot. So yeah, Paul passed away, and I love Paul. Paul, because I don't remember mom and dad's relationship like that. Paul treated my mom the best of any guy I ever saw my mom with. And I remember a few different guys over the years. Yeah. But I mean, Paul was above and beyond. No offense, Dad. I was just too little. Paul was above and beyond. And he always, even when she had her strokes and she had Kane, yeah, they get on each other's nerves, but they loved each other too, man. They loved each other so much. And Paul accepted me with open arms. I'm sure that was a fun noise on the mic. He treated me like one of his sons. He treated my brother Beamer like one of his sons. They were really close. He helped out with Beamer's kids all the time. He's really close with my nephew Will, and then also with my niece and nephew. He's and him and Beamer just had this great relationship, this great rapport. So I know this is really hard on him too, but Paul never treated me less than. He was always very kind to me, very kind to Angel, and he loved Aaliyah. He loved Aaliyah. Like he would make her feel so special whenever she came down to whenever he brought her down to see him. So it sucks. He found out he had cancer in March. Somewhere around there. Apparently it was stage 4, and I don't know if that was clear at first, but stage 4, he's undergoing treatments. Treatment started taking a lot out of him, and eventually stopped driving, which is something he'd always done. Like he was fully functioned before, like no problems at all. He stopped driving, and then we went to come down for Apple Blossom, which is always the first weekend of May, and he didn't. I think it was like last weekend of May this year, but he actually asked us not to stop by because he just didn't feel up to it. And when I called Travis, when he told me a few days before when he told me 2 weeks ago what had happened, I called and kind of touched base with him after we were texting him, and he put him on the phone. He's like, hey, what's up, dude? Like his voice didn't sound like him. And I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Just shooting the shit, so to speak. And there's a curse word. And I said, love you, Paul. Love you back, dude. Yeah. And then on Sunday, we hung out for like an hour in his hospital room with Travis, and Paul had someone else come to see him. And he was there, but you could just tell he wasn't there, like he just, and so we're getting ready to leave, and Aaliyah gave him a hug, and Angel gave him a hug, and I kissed him on the forehead and told him I loved him. I said I'd see him soon, and he said I hope so. And then a few days later he's gone. So I'm okay right now. If I recall correctly, with Barbara, I found out on a Friday. The arrangements weren't until next week. I had the weekend off. I don't remember working. I don't think I took the whole week, but I don't think I went back to work until like the following Thursday. And I was okay until we got to Winchester. And that's when it really started to hit me. And then we went to the funeral home, and it was the first time I saw her. I lost it. And then the funeral was the next day. Of course, we buried her. And then with Bonnie, I was there because I can't remember if I think Dawn, a family friend of ours, had messaged me and said she really wasn't doing that good, and everybody's trying to keep me from it. I knew she wasn't doing well, but I talked to Dad, and Dad wasn't giving me too much. But like I woke up that morning. I don't remember when Dawn messaged me, but I woke up the Friday before she passed away, and I looked at Angel whenever I was leaving to go to work. I was like, I got to go home today. I just knew. I felt it. I was like, I got to go home. She's not going to be here much longer. And I got home. She never woke up while I was there. She was that bad off. People were coming in and out to see her, pay her last respects. Everybody kept waiting for her to go. And there were some moments where we thought she was going to go, and then she didn't. And then she never met Aaliyah because we had that falling out where I decided I was not going to have anything to do with her if she couldn't respect my choice in wife. So I stopped talking to her like that. And I laid in bed with her, just me and her in the room. And I showed her pictures of Aaliyah, who was only over a year by then. And then I went outside and I was hanging out with Chad, my nephew, whose birthday is coming up. Happy early birthday, Chad. God, how old are you going to be, Chad? You're going to be 28, bro. That's crazy. And then she passed away. And so I was in it. So the tears and everything else was like I was completely out of it for that. So I didn't have a period of where what I'm going through now, which has been this slow denial mode essentially. And now today, this afternoon, we're actually going to be heading down to Dad's for the night, spend the night with him. And then tomorrow is when everything for Paul is. So got the viewing, and then we have the actual funeral, and then we're going to have a family get together after that at Uncle Rick's house. So it's coming. It's coming. Shout out to my job, man. They gave me money because whenever someone passes away at our job, we always do a collection, and they collected what they collected. Really, I expected like, I don't know, like maybe 100. I'm going to disclose it. Who cares? This is what we do. We don't hide things. So, normally do a collection. I don't check to see how much collections are, but usually you get a couple $100 and everything. And so let's say less than 150, and then you give it to the person. Sorry for your loss. It's to help with anything you might need going on. That's just the kind of thing that we do at my job. And I might have said what I do, but it's on early episodes, and it's not really a big hidden secret, but I try not to mention my job on here. And they gave me $200, and I cried tears of joy because, it wasn't so much about needing the money. It was the fact that so many people just wanted to reach out and be kind for losing my stepdad. And I just thought that was amazing. I thought it was amazing that they were able to do that. I teared up a little bit a few times, but there hasn't been, aside from these, and I'm not even really crying, it's more like just welling up. There hasn't been any true moments where I've gotten really upset, but I just know that tomorrow I'm gonna walk up to that casket, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Fuck cancer, since we're in this, 100%. And I love you, Paul, and you're great, and you'll be dearly missed. So I'm dealing with that fallout, so to speak. Now, on top of that, speaking of work, I had I can't disclose too much of this, but there was a situation that happened at work. Probably an ongoing situation that happened like the first half of the year up until June. And then the following week, following vacation, was kind of like dealing with the fallout from those things. Now, and this is my first time being in a leadership role. like ever. Like, in the Hyphen podcast group stuff aside, that's just me, a bunch of my friends. We do podcasts. They're like, we're all freely independent. It's not like I'm saying, Marcus, we should do this again sometime every single Monday or every Thursday. When did they drop? Friday. And then Eric, we're doing Rasslecast. It comes out on Mondays. And Lamb, where's your podcast? I'm like, no, man. Like, there's no monetary gains right now. This is all for the love of the game for Hyphen Podcast Group. And with that said, I don't have to do too much leadership. Hell, Marcus is a better leader than me because he organizes shit. He's like, hey, let's get together and talk about pods. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's my job. And Marcus does it. And that's just the kind of guy that Marcus is. That's the kind of person he is. So it's my first time in a leadership role ever. And I really thought beginning of this year that I was going into my first, like, over the summer will be 2 full years in a position. And like going into the new year, I was like, oh man, I got this now. This is cake. I'm getting all this other stuff done. The everything else is going along. My employees are working well together. It's amazing. My employees weren't working well together, and I completely ignored the coaching part of my job. So something that I've been going through at work is learning to coach more and make my employees better, as well as still getting my tasks done while not doing all the tasks that I was required to do prior to being in a leadership role. And that has been eye-opening, and it's also been very hard on me, because not that I can't do it, not that I don't want to do it, but it's a lot. Like, especially when I thought things were going so well, and then for them to go as badly as they did. And then by June, and then thankfully I did go to the beach for Angel's birthday week. I went to Ocean City. I got up every morning, walked the boardwalk by myself, drank amazing coffee from, I can't remember, it's like OC. Oh, I can't ever remember their name. Quickies of OC. I would get coffee from Quickies of OC, ate amazing food, was a proper amount of drunk most days. Even though that one time I did black out for like 20 minutes, but thankfully no harm, no foul. And the beach really got me recalibrated, but I came back from the beach with an attitude of, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do my job when I'm here, and then I'm going home and I'm going to forget about my job. And it can't work like that. So I'm learning now to not necessarily bring home work, because I was bringing home the stresses from work prior to going to the beach, because I was so miserable from the situation that I had accidentally ignored and let get out of control. But I'm learning to prioritize things better, and I'm learning to let go of things that I have wanted to do. Like, because it's easy for me to delegate. It's easy for me to delegate little things, but something's happening and get a little busy at work. It's like, yo, let me jump in there and help y'all. And I can't always do that. I got to let them swim. I got to let the little fishies swim on their own. And that's hard. It's been really hard. And then on top of that, dealing with the feelings of being a failure and a fraud with the supervisor position, that hasn't been great. It's been getting better as of late. That's why I was able to sit down here and do a podcast last week and be like, oh yeah, things were bad, but they're getting better, because things are getting better. But at the same time, imposter syndrome, which I normally don't suffer from, definitely came into play on this one, because it's like in my leadership material, like, is this meant for me? Because I don't love it. I don't love being the leader. And it's not that I can't be a good leader. It's not like I don't want to be a good leader. It's just like with the frustrations that happen from the incidents that had occurred on the job, it really made me feel inadequate, and it made me feel like I wasn't cut out to do the job that I'm getting paid for, which is crazy. And that's what imposter syndrome is. How are you getting paid to do something? How are you getting paid to do something? But then you feel like you're not doing a good job at it, and then your supervisors and everything else, the people who should be seeing you do a terrible job, are backing you 100% and willing to go to all these extents to make you a better supervisor. It's crazy. I mean, and this is one of the reasons why I do love my job and I'm so loyal to my job. Because there are plenty of times that I just feel like I'm not cut out for it. I'm like, they're going to walk in here and be like, all right, jig's up. You're out of here, Hyphen. Kellen. And they haven't done it. There's been other times that things have happened when I wasn't a supervisor, and they probably should be like, all right, Kellen, jig's up. You're out of here. And they haven't done it. So having that kind of loyalty is amazing from your employer. But it also fucks with you on the other side of it. Because it's like, what the hell am I doing here? I don't feel like I'm doing anything right, but y'all are cool with this? Why aren't y'all cutting me loose? Like, so kudos to them for not giving up on me. If my hair is white on the video, I just got out of the shower and threw some deep conditioner in it. So look how long my hair is. Remember I was talking about on the pod how I was going to cut my hair and I was going to go back to short hair, and then here we are, about to be at 7 months growth. I got my hair braided for the first time in April of 2021 after growing it for 8 months. So I'm probably close to the length I need to get it braided. I know it don't look like much, but it's curly. So shout out to my hair, man. And so I've been dealing with that. And like I said, things are improving. I'm trying to learn, and I am learning new things, become better at my job. And I'm trying to cope with my feelings about Paul as much as possible. But where am I at, honestly, mentally right now? Like I said, this is the first time I'm actually recording one of these when I'm not like, everything sucks. I'm just so depressed. And I'm mocking, but I've never really listened to 63 or 104, right? 63 or 104. So I can't remember what I said, but I know I wasn't in a good place. I was angry. I was mad. I felt rejected. And I don't feel any of those things right now. Like, honestly, money's kind of stressing me, but at the same time, it's not stressing me, you know, and I want to be able to be like, this is the reason why I feel so comfortable right now, and there's nothing that I can truly pinpoint as to why I'm okay right now. I mean, shout out to my dad. This is nothing a deep breath won't fix. I did call my boss last Monday after work. I'm like, oh, it's so crazy. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm a terrible leader. People didn't get out to this time, and everybody. And she's like, yeah, but everybody was helping and when like. And I was like, yeah, but they're supposed to leave a certain time. And she's like, you can't control everything. It's like, I know, but I want to, man. It's hard. And then creatively, like I'm all over the place, and I'm okay with that. Like, shout out to my man CFX. He once told me that if I could concentrate on one thing, I would be amazing at it versus doing all these little things. But I'm kind of at my happiest when I'm doing all these little things, man. I like the fact that I'm doing so much YouTube. Shout out to the 59 subscribers, man. I love the fact that Rasslecast is getting ready to come back. And that's funny because when Rasslecast came back after the new year, I was really disillusioned with that because I was like, I'm just so tired on Friday nights and I don't want to record. But every time I'd sit down and record, it was amazing. I'd have a great time with Eric and Marcus. And I was like, I'm just so tired. I don't want to record a podcast. I was being a little bitch. But I'd sit down and do it. And the pod got better every single week. We would just have so much fun. So much fun doing the pod. So, yeah, I'm doing YouTube videos almost every day. And yeah, I'm doing my TikTok thing. I've been rapping. I wrote a few songs at the beach, which I thought was pretty incredible. Well, I mean, I think I'm incredible anyway. But I mean, I was writing verses every day, and I started a couple new concepts. I just recently just completed moving all these files around on these externals. So now this external is now for Hyphen music and instrumentals, and then my big external that's back here that I don't think is plugged in right now. Let me see if I can grab it without effing something up. I don't even know if you can hear me. Let me see if I can grab it without effing something up. Yeah, it's acting like it's plugged into something. Okay. Yeah, this thing, like I took all my videos off of here and put it on my other external one that's back here that's plugged up. And this is just, this is pretty much the holy grail of Hyphen Kellen Conley. This is everything, all the different computers, everything that's not a video is now contained on this. And then the other one, another external that Dad gave me years ago, which I've rarely used, that used to house the Hyphen music catalog and all the session files, now houses all the videos. So I'll be doing video off of that one now. Freed up a bunch of stuff there. And yes, I know it's not creative, but I just want to talk about it because that's the kind of stuff that I've been working on. What else, man? Like I haven't written anything, but that's okay. I recently, big surprise, guys, I updated my website because I was tired of maintaining a self-hosted WordPress site. So I took the blog, put it on a WordPress.com site. You can still get to it by going to hyphenuniverse.com, and you go to the website, and you got the blog there. I talked about this on here because Mark Rob called me about it, and then Hyphen podcast group. I'm getting ready to kind of figure out what I want to do for September as far as how to go about not having a dedicated website for actual self-hosted WordPress site for Hyphen Nation, because there's so many other ways that I can do this without having to literally deal with WordPress and its constant updates. And yes, I know you can set WordPress up to self-update, blah, blah, blah. I just want to set it and forget it, man. I want to be able to go in and be like, hey, this episode came out, and it's going to be good. I got plans. But there's always something I'm constantly working on, and I'm okay with that. Like, my creative juices are flowing. Like, in June, they shut down because by the beginning of June, I was just so beat down by the whole situation at work. I was like, I can't be creative in any way, shape, or fashion. I can't do music. I can't do podcasts. I can't do video, because I was dropping 2 videos a week there throughout May on Hyphen Universe. And then everything happened at work. Well, was happening at work. And by the time June got here, I think I dropped 1 video. Now I took the rest of the month off. And it wasn't even intentional. It was just like, you know what? It's not there. And that's okay sometimes if you got to take breaks. Like the hustle mentality, where it's like, oh, I gotta hustle, gotta work as much as possible so I can get far in life, and which is 100% true. You do have to work hard in order to get far in life, no matter what you're doing. And even if that's your side gigs, in order to make your side gigs your main gigs, I completely get it. But it's okay to stop. Take breaks. You don't have to bury yourself. My content would have suffered if I kept pushing through all that. And it's good to have distractions sometimes, to be able to like pivot from the situation at work and then come home and work on something creative for myself. That's hella dope. But sometimes you need to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna mess with the studio. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna kick it with my wife and daughter and jump on a trampoline and make Lego cars and watch some movies. And that's what I did. So the self-care is definitely there. But it's important that you always try to make sure that it's there in different ways. Like, I don't know, like I've been on this weird Chipotle kick. So I've been eating all these Chipotle burritos, and I never eat Chipotle like that. But I've been enjoying the shit out of some Chipotle. It's fine. That's self-care. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit fatter, but I'm going to go back on low carb on Monday. I promise. I promise. All right, look. Anybody who's watching this. Today is the 11th. So on August 15th, low carb starts again, okay? I promise. Okay? Because we'll be past Barrel and Flow, and I don't have anything coming up until the end of September. So low carb will be back, and I'll start looking fine from the sidelines again. So I wouldn't say I'm in an amazing place by any means, but I also can't say I'm in a bad place by any means. So I'm in a medium place, so to speak. Is that what they called the on the good place? It was the good place, the bad place, and the medium place. Is that what the chick from the 80s who always wanted them to bring her Coke? Is that what they called it? Wanted Eleanor Shellstrop to bring her the Coke. I need to get back into watching that too. But I've been watching Moon Knight, catch up on some Disney series. Been watching Moon Knight, watched Hawkeye. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm going to save that for another pod. Only because I do want to talk about Thor on here. Might reach out to Gerbo, see if he wants to talk about Thor. That could be fun. And I think he's also watched some of the other stuff. So this is self-care from a different lens. I think it's just as important for me to come on here and not just be, like everything sucks and I wish I wasn't alive. And these are feelings that I felt. So I sound like I'm mocking, but I'm trying to mock myself. Like, honestly, it gets dark. It gets dark AF sometimes. I'm not trying to say I'm willing to take myself out, but shit. Sometimes shit sucks. And yeah, and then going ahead and what do they call that? I'm not gonna think of the word. Going ahead and rage quitting. Sometimes it seems like it's a good option for me. I'm not trying to say anything about I'm not going anywhere, okay? That I know of. I'm not gonna hurt myself. I have a daughter to be here for, a wife to be here for, friends and family to be here for, and I also want to be here for myself to see what else is going to happen in my life. I'm very excited to continue living, okay? But sometimes rage quitting, especially when you're in it just becomes more, it just feels very viable, even if it's only for 20 minutes. And those feelings suck. It sucks to feel that way. And if you've never experienced it, God bless you. Seriously. Because I've had these feelings off and on since freaking high school. And I don't even know what it was in high school, but I was literally thinking about stabbing myself in the chest with a steak knife. Because I was that freaking miserable and I didn't know what it was. I was just a kid. I literally had to get up in the morning, ready for school, go to school, come home from school, do some chores, and then the rest of the evening was free until it was time for me to go to bed. That was my life. I had no stress. None. I wasn't bullied in high school. I was the kid who had his best friend from Baltimore who he talked about rap with all the time and would write raps and had been writing raps for several years by then, a couple years by then. But But I don't know why I felt like I wanted to kill myself in high school. So these are real feelings that I've continued to deal with throughout my adult life. I know I'm not the only person out there. And I absolutely feel like suicide is never an option. It's never funny. It's always something that should be taken seriously. Matter of fact, let me get this shit off my chest. We in this, okay? Talking to a friend the other night, and they say something about the lines of, I'm in a dark place. So I say, I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? You know, that red flag. What's going on? Do you need to talk? Like, do I need to call you? Like, what's going on? And they're like, LOL, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what do you mean, LOL? I'm like, it's fine. I was like, well, I care about you. Sure you do. Like, what are you talking about right now? What? I don't care if you were drunk or not. Don't say something like that to me and be like, and then try to laugh it off. And they're like, blah, 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 it's fine. And they just being real dismissive. And, I was like, you know what? If you think it's cool to say something like that, even if you're drunk, and then kind of laugh it off and push it away. And I also knew this person was with friends already. So it's like, if you feel that way and you're just going to laugh it off, whatever, fine. That's completely fine with me. I was like, have a good night. And I ain't really talked that much to him since. Because that's fucked up. Don't put up red flags and then be like, just kidding. I take this shit seriously. I don't want anybody to ever take their life. And I especially don't want anybody that I know to take their own life. I constantly say it's important to share your feelings. And I do feel like it's important to share your feelings. It's just something that you have to do. And men have been trained for years not to do that. Feelings are wrong. No, man. Feelings are one of the things that makes me me. So when I cry to Dwayne Wade commercial, or if I'm tearing up about my stepdad, or whatever it is, if I get emotional even for 10 seconds, those are my feelings and I embrace them. That's me. So yeah, you throw up a red flag, I'm going to get serious. And then yeah, I still deal with those thoughts of wanting to rage quit. But I'm not going to, and I don't want anybody else to ever go. I don't want anybody else to ever feel like they can't. I don't want anybody else to ever take that option either. Reach out to somebody. There's people there who want to help you. I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like Ricky Bobby. So I get it. But it's just as important for me to talk about me having those feelings when I'm in it and really deep down and I'm in a dark place, as to when I'm not in a dark place, which is now. So to wrap all this up in a neat little bow, as I've been doing this for 40 some minutes now. I'm okay. Go deal with the funeral, and then me and Angel are going to Barrel and Flow this weekend. The Black Beer Festival in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Dave Racy and Ed Bailey. Going to go check them out. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'm coping with imposter syndrome at work. But other than that, I'm actually kind of good. And I do these episodes because I've never hidden my feelings on Hyphen Nation since I've pivoted to becoming more of a music podcast more than anything else. And actually kind of have a niche, so to speak. I don't have so many of those random moments where I can talk about these things. So it's important to me, as the proprietor of this show, of this brand, of the Hyphen Nation brand, the Hyphen Nation brand, to let y'all know, man or woman, trans, non-binary, does not matter. If you need to reach out to somebody, please do it. There's always someone out there who cares. I promise. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you got to pick up and call the number, man. Go ahead and do it. Your life matters. It does. And that's why we do the self-care episodes. I promise. With that said, you've been listening to the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast, Hyphen Nation, hosted by myself, the one, the only, B Hyphen, aka Kellen Conley. I appreciate all y'all listening. As always, it means so much to me. Episode 201. If you want to get in contact with the show, bhyphen@gmail.com or at B-Hyphen on Twitter, the B-Hyphen on Instagram, Hyphen Universe on Facebook. Also, last time I'm reminding you, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the follow button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please like the videos. Comment what you think about the episode in the comments down here, because if you do a comment and it's a good comment, hell, if it's a bad comment, I'll read it on the show. I do not care. Please do. And if you hit that bell, never miss an upload. Okay? Now that's out of the way. If you want to go the other route, hyphenpodcastgroup.com. That's at Hyphen Podcast Group on Twitter. At Hyphen Pod Group on Twitter. Hyphen Podcast Group on Instagram. And Hyphen Podcast Group on Facebook. Or Hyphen Podcast Group at gmail.com if I didn't already say that. Hyphen Podcastgroup.com if I didn't already say that. And then hyphenuniverse.com are the websites. The link in my bio will take you to my link tree, which will always keep you updated on my latest projects week to week. I update it weekly or daily as I do stuff, and then I delete out anything that's older than a week. You can also donate there's donate links in there. You can donate on Coffee, or you can donate on Patreon, which I'm still trying to set up and kind of do tiers. But if you want to donate to any of my creative endeavors, I greatly appreciate it. The power of positivity is real. Get that negativity out of your life. No matter what it may be, no matter what you have to do, you got to do you. Yes, always. And with that said, give people their flowers while they're still here. I was very glad that I recorded that video for Paul and just sharing a couple stories about him. I was very glad I got to see Paul before he passed. And it's so important. Let people know how much you care about them, because you never know when it's their time to go. And with that said, call your mom, call your brother, call your sister, call your dad, call your grandma, call your dad or granddad, call your aunt, call your uncle, call your 15th cousin removed by marriage on your dad-in-law's side by marriage, Joe. Call him too. Am I sober? Maybe not. Just stay in touch, man. That's the main thing. Even if it's just text message. Send that text message. Let people know that you're thinking about them. Please do that. It's very important. Also, try to have genuine interactions with people. You never know what the next man or woman is going through, and your kind actions could save their life or someone else's. So please try to go out there and do that. I do have a recommendation for y'all. I mentioned the suicide hotline number that Logic made, not famous, but Logic made a whole song about. I actually watched his documentary Vinyl Days on YouTube, and I am not typically a Logic guy, but I really enjoyed the documentary. It's about an hour, and it's just, if you like watching musicians in the studio, it's a really fun watch. Why am I doing this with my hands? Oh my God, Ricky Bobby. Maybe I'll call this Self-Care 3, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Yeah, but you can go check out Vinyl Days. You should enjoy that. I think you will. If you go to Apple Podcasts, give the show 5 stars. Leave a review, good or bad. I'll read it on the show. The 5 stars gives more visibility to the podcast. Also on Spotify, once you've listened to an episode, give the podcast 5 stars. It's greatly appreciated. And if you can't find this podcast or any other Hyphen podcast group podcast on your favorite podcast listening device or platform, please let me know from any of the contact information I gave you, and I'll do my best to get that fixed for you. With that said, I think my audio sounds crispy. I'm going to check my video. I really do appreciate y'all. All of y'all that watch, all of y'all that follow, all of y'all that subscribe. It means a lot. I love my time with y'all. And I'm really trying to get back weekly. So we will see what's what once the school year starts. Because if I can start recording on Tuesday nights exclusively, then I can get back to doing Thursdays. I gotta prioritize. Gotta prioritize things in my life a little bit better. We getting there. But love talking to y'all. Love this podcast. And I say all of that to say this. Thanks, y'all.